Patricia Heaton has long been lauded for her astute comedic timing and likable portrayals. She became famous playing Debra Barone on the popular comedy Everybody Loves Raymond. Even though the play became a hit with audiences, Heaton overcame serious personal issues that she chose to keep private. Her hidden hardships in creating her beloved figure become clear as we delve into her story, exposing a hitherto unseen aspect of Heaton's character. Patricia Heaton came from an artistic family in Bay Village, Ohio, where she was born on March 4, 1958. Patricia Heard stayed at home to raise her daughter, while her father, Chuck Heaton, worked as a sports journalist. Heaton had an innate talent for performing from an early age, taking part in school productions and developing her abilities. To follow her performing dreams, Heaton relocated to New York City after earning a bachelor's degree in theater from Ohio State University. The stage was Heaton's launching pad in New York. She co-founded the Stage 3 acting company and studied under the illustrious William Esper, all of which contributed to her rise to prominence in the off-Broadway world. Heaton battled the harsh realities of the acting industry, finding it difficult to acquire consistent employment in television and movies despite her rising renown in theater. Guest appearances on hit TV series like 30-something and Matlock were Heaton's reward for her perseverance. Her career, however, took off once she tried out for the part of Debra Barone on Everybody Loves Raymond. It was anything but a smooth casting process. CBS wanted someone more glitzy to play Deborah, so they had other plans. The show's creator, Phil Rosenthal, had different opinions, considering Heaton's relatable charm to be an ideal fit for the role. Despite CBS's qualms, Heaton landed the part after an audition that wowed Rosenthal. Because of this choice, Heaton's portrayal of Debra Barone became iconic and the show became a critical success, cementing Heaton's position in television history. The first season of Everybody Loves Raymond aired in 1996, entering the American television landscape with great speed. Long Island sports reporter Ray Barone and his family wife Deborah and 3 kids were the show's focal point. The unique selling point of the sitcom was the way it realistically portrayed family life, borrowing from actual events. The interactions between Ray, Deborah, and Ray's domineering parents across the street were hilarious and touching, drawing in viewers. The show's creator, Phil Rosenthal, drew inspiration for episodes from real-life occurrences such as his own marriage and the writer's personal experiences. Key to the show's success was its genuineness, which allowed spectators to see themselves reflected in the characters' familial peculiarities and difficulties. From disagreements about who should do what around the house to the difficulties of parenting, everyone loves Raymond made lighthearted commentary on serious topics which made it accessible and enjoyable. Part of what made the show so popular was Patricia Heaton's portrayal of Debra Barone. Deborah, who was frequently irritated but always loving, was the calm voice amidst the Barone family's mayhem. In a performance that was equal parts funny and heartfelt, Heaton brought a real, grounded quality to the role. Deborah became a beloved character that viewers could identify with and rally around because to her stunning dual performance of warmth and fury. Everybody Loves Raymond became a classic thanks in large part to Heaton's comedic timing and the chemistry she had with Ray Romano. Patricia Heaton kept her private struggles concealed from the public view while she gave warmth and comedy to the role of Debra Barone on Everybody Loves Raymond. For Heaton and the rest of the production crew, the show's 9 seasons were fraught with difficulties due to her 2 pregnancies. These pregnancies couldn't be written into the screenplay because of the show's plot and Deborah's character. Accordingly, the producers had to become inventive in order to hide Heaton's expanding pregnancy bumps. The show used a number of deft methods to conceal Heaton's pregnancies. The usage of props was a very effective strategy. Observers may have seen that Deborah was frequently flanked by several enormous items during the seasons in which Heaton was pregnant. These objects, whether Heaton is sitting at a table, standing behind a kitchen counter, or carrying a laundry basket, effectively blocked the view of her growing baby bump. Heaton would frequently wear free-flowing garments that masked her fluctuating physique, in addition to using props. In order to keep Deborah looking her best on television, the wardrobe department was vital. Heaton was very careful when choosing her costumes so that her pregnancies would not be the center of attention during her performances. By focusing on Heaton's face and upper body and using clever camera angles that prevented full-body shots, the viewer was kept uninformed of her off-screen condition thanks to these costume choices. She kept performing flawlessly throughout her pregnancy despite the fact that it was physically demanding. Her work ethic is on full display as she juggles the challenges of pregnancy with the same boundless energy and hilarious antics that made Debra Barone a fan favorite. Heaton's deep admiration for acting is evident in her resolve to maintain a wall between her private and professional lives. Her ability to remain true to her character in spite of everything that was going on was quite astounding, and she clearly understood the significance of doing so for the program. Not only did Heaton's unwavering commitment help Everybody Loves Raymond run smoothly, but it also cemented her status as one of the most dependable and gifted performers in television history. The intricate and multi-layered relationships depicted on film were only the tip of the iceberg when it came to the on-set interactions among the cast members of Everybody Loves Raymond. Peter Boyle, Frank Barone, and Doris Roberts Marie Barone formed an unusual bond with Patricia Heaton, the matriarch of the Barone household. The popularity of the show and the genuine family dynamic that viewers connected with were greatly influenced by these relationships, whether they were on or off set. Respect for one another was a hallmark of Patricia Heaton and Peter Boyle's relationship. Though they hold different political opinions, Boyle and Heaton frequently had disagreements due to Boyle's liberal views and Heaton's conservative ideology. The actors' professionalism shone through in their conversations, preventing any potential tension that may have arisen from their differences. The arguments that Boyle and Heaton would have were frequently heated, but they would always do it in a light-hearted and respectful manner. They were able to maintain set unity and keep their on-screen chemistry intact by keeping their political differences out of their job. Given the closeness of the interaction between Heaton and Boyle's characters, this respectful dynamic was vital. Many of the show's comic moments revolved around Deborah and Frank's relationship as the daughter-in-law and father-in-law of the Barone family. The family strife was believable and enjoyable because of Heaton's deftness in playing off Boyle's tough, no-nonsense personality. The mutual admiration they felt off-screen lent itself to a convincing and frequently comical interaction on screen, adding to the show's allure. Just as crucial was Heaton's connection with Doris Roberts. Roberts was not only Heaton's on-screen mother-in-law, but also her friend and mentor. She played the controlling yet affectionate Marie. There was an essential link between the two that went beyond their time together on the show. Roberts was an inspiration to Heaton because she was an experienced actor with decades of experience who could always be counted on for advice and assistance. The situations in which they appeared together showcased this connection, as the innate chemistry between Heaton and Roberts gave their performances more depth. Heaton, Boyle, and Roberts' relationship significantly impacted the mood of Everybody Loves Raymond. Their on-screen exchanges were even more captivating because of the real fondness and respect they had off-screen. The real-life connections between the players provided the basis for the dynamics, such as Deborah's irritation at Marie's interference and Frank's stubbornness. The tight-knit atmosphere that resulted from these ties permeated the entire cast, making them feel more like family than mere colleagues. An excellent aspect of Everybody Loves Raymond was the chemistry among the cast members, which enabled the show to humorously and emotionally delve into the complexities of family life. A major factor in the show's tone and its status as one of the most adored sitcoms on television was Patricia Heaton's connections with her co-stars, especially Doris Roberts and Peter Boyle. It takes a lot to maintain a successful television career while still meeting the needs of one's family. This difficulty was constant for Patricia Heaton while she was a cast member on Everybody Loves Raymond. Heaton faced the challenges of motherhood head-on as she raised 4 children, concurrently devoting herself to a very acclaimed television comedy. She discreetly impacted her portrayal of Debra Barone, a character who frequently had comparable challenges by juggling these tasks, which speaks to her tenacity. As the show ran, Heaton was juggling the responsibilities of being a stay-at-home mom and an active member of the cast and crew on set. The days were long and stressful for Heaton because of these two responsibilities. She would get her kids ready for school first thing in the morning, and then spend the night practicing lines or filming. A testament to Heaton's commitment and work ethic, she overcame obstacles to remain a force to be reckoned with in her personal and professional lives. When describing Debra Barone, Heaton drew heavily on her own experiences as a mother. Deborah, like Heaton, was a mother juggling the needs of her children with those of herself. People connected with Heaton's performance because of the genuineness she brought to Deborah, especially mothers who could relate to her hardships. Deborah is one of the most likable TV characters because Heaton portrayed her real-life feelings of fatigue, irritation, and immense love for her family. But there were challenges in Heaton's life while she was on Everybody Loves Raymond. Jennifer Lee, her former assistant, sued her in 2009 for unpaid wages and put her in a difficult legal position. According to Lee, Heaton broke California labor regulations by forcing her to work overtime without paying her for it. The lawsuit brought unwanted attention to Heaton, which was in stark contrast to her innocent on-screen persona. A prosperous and apparently ideal life can still have its challenges, even though the case was resolved in the end. Despite the stress of the court struggle, Heaton remained dedicated to her career. Rather than letting her own struggles affect her work, she kept delivering outstanding performances on Everybody Loves Raymond. As an example of her professionalism, Heaton is able to separate her personal life from her work, making her even more beloved by her co-workers and admirers. Debra Barone was subtly influenced by Heaton's real-life connections and experiences. The way she handled Deborah's dealings with Ray and their children was shaped by her close relationship with her own family. The genuine warmth and empathy exhibited by Heaton in her portrayal of Deborah were not only convincing but also a direct reflection of her personal beliefs. The delicate balancing act that was Heaton's personal life during the run of Everybody Loves Raymond was executed with poise and resolve. Debra Barone became one of the most lovable and sympathetic TV characters thanks to the depth she brought to her character through drawing from her personal experiences as a mother and wife. Regardless of the personal and public obstacles she encountered, Heaton remained steadfast in her commitment to her work and her loved ones, establishing her as an absolute pro and a genuine talent in the world of show business. In 2005, as the last season of Everybody Loves Raymond drew near, the cast and crew were aware that they were bringing an end to a significant chapter in television history. The creator, Phil Rosenthal, was afraid that the show's quality might suffer if it were to be renewed for a 10th season, therefore he felt it was time to say goodbye after 9 outstanding seasons. This choice ended a period that had a profound impact on Patricia Heaton's and her co-stars' lives and careers. Everyone on the cast, particularly notably Heaton, felt the emotional impact of the show's finale. Heaton had been close with her co-stars throughout her nearly decade-long role as Debra Barone, and the prospect of leaving was daunting. She had an especially hard time with the last taping. Despite her reputation for professionalism, Heaton struggled to control her emotions. An unusual event for the seasoned actor, she became so choked up at the last rehearsal that she lost her voice. Because the show meant so much to Heaton, the producers even had to put off the final taping for a week so she could recuperate. Leaving a beloved character behind wasn't the only thing that made Heaton react negatively to the show's ending. Parting with what felt like a second family was also a theme. On and off set, the tight-knit crew and cast had shared innumerable moments. Both the relationships and the roles they played were bid farewell during the last curtain call. Upon reflection, Heaton ranked the final tape as among the most emotionally taxing events of her career. Heaton continued to excel in the music industry even after the devastating conclusion of Everybody. Her breakout role was on the ABC comedy The Middle, but she wasted little time finding more opportunities to shine. Heaton played the part of Frankie Heck, a Midwesterner who is a loving but overwhelmed mother of 3, on the 2009 premiere of The Middle. Just like in Everybody Loves Raymond, the sitcom aired for 9 seasons and became a beloved television mom for Heaton. She earned appreciation for her relatable and sympathetic image. After her time in The Middle ended in 2018, Heaton kept acting, landing roles including Carol's second act on CBS. Although Carol's second act only lasted for 1 season, it featured Heaton as Carol Kenny, a former teacher who starts a new career in medicine. The sitcom aired in 2019 and ran for that long. The audience loved Heaton's performance because it demonstrated her versatility and her ability to make any character seem like home. Heaton has shown incredible flexibility and perseverance throughout her career, moving easily from one fruitful endeavor to another. The fact that Heaton is still having success in television shows that her talent and charisma are timeless, even though Everybody Loves Raymond is still one of her most famous performances. Although the conclusion of Everybody Loves Raymond marked the end of an important chapter, it also marked the start of fresh and exciting prospects for Patricia Heaton, who had an already impressive career. Looking back on her time as Debra Barone, Heaton clearly has a lot of fond memories associated with the role. Though it was a tough emotional journey, her departure from Everybody Loves Raymond paved the way for her next professional chapter. A stage that, similar to her time on Everybody Loves Raymond, never ceases to make viewers laugh and smile. Viewers identified with Deborah because she embodied qualities that they aspired to. No parent or wife would ever call her perfect. She was authentic because she was human and had quirks, anger, and vulnerable times. The ups and downs of home life were encapsulated by Deborah's persona. Become an icon of tenacity and determination when confronted with common obstacles. The portrayal of women on television, particularly in comedies, was also profoundly affected by Heaton's performance as Debra Barone. Many comedic female characters prior to Raymond were either flat or stuck in traditional norms. Yet Deborah possessed a multitude of traits. She was fiercely attached to her family while being strong, bright, and self-reliant. Heaton's portrayal of strong female characters set a precedent for how TV sitcoms portrayed women in the future. Audiences really connected with Debra Barone's personal challenges and touching moments, leading to her rapid fan favorite status. There was no let-up in Deborah's renown even after the program finished. Debra Barone's legacy lives on in popular culture thanks to the countless fans who continue to honor her character through social media, fan forums, and reruns. Her impact may be seen in how she continues to be a focal point when people talk about how families evolve and how women are portrayed on television. Even greater acclaim for Deborah's portrayal of the contemporary lady would be due if Everybody Loves Raymond were to air today. Debra Barone's juggling act of work, family, and self-identity would hit home with modern viewers during this period of cultural debates about changing gender roles and other social shifts. Even now, long after the show has ended, Debra Barone is still a fan favorite who speaks to people of all ages.